All right, what's good with the BlakGooseTV family, man? I want to get right into this reaction video. I thought it was necessary. I thought it only made sense. And partly because I am, I won't say a huge fan of Lubin, but I respect him. What I'm saying? Before the fight with Fundora, you guys can see obviously the documented proof when it comes to YouTube channel, where basically I'm saying he's a rising star. He's someone we need to look out for when it comes to the 154 division. He has all the skill. He has the suave, he has the swag, what I'm saying? All that, everything that makes, it makes you think that, in his future, he's going to be dominating the 154 division, skill wise, as well as media wise. But that's boxing, right? You know what I'm saying? You think something and then it goes the other way. It's part of the game. Sometimes you just got to accept the L's and move on, even if you're a fan of somebody. And with that being said, Lubin, he took an unexpected loss to Fundora. Some people, obviously aftermath, you can say, well, that how can you expect him to beat a guy who's so goddamn big? But Lubin's not a guy who makes excuses. He wanted to fight. He said he could have waited for the Castano Charlo 2 winner, and he chose to fight Fundora. He didn't have to fight Fundora, but he did it because he believed in himself. He wanted to stay busy, and he wanted to prove to everyone how good he was. In the long run, obviously, that's when it kind of comes down to the business of boxing, where it's like, well, the business of boxing, that wasn't a smart move. But, that's why I hate kind of when it comes to boxing community, me, myself included, is where we'll criticize a boxer for not taking a big fight at a certain point in their career. But then at the same time, we'll criticize a boxer who takes a fight that they feel like they shouldn't have taken and end up getting the L and being like, you should have waited. You know what I'm saying? So we're so hypocritical when it comes to that, because you have to understand a lot of times with boxer, it comes down to business or it comes down to being great. And sometimes being great does not line up with the business aspect. So you have to, so if you're trying to be great, you're going to have to take a risk. And sometimes the risk doesn't line up with the business, especially if the money isn't behind it, and vice versa. You pick the business over the risk, you're going to have fans question you and saying you're really not that good because we see what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. So you could never win when it comes to a boxer. That's what I'm basically saying. You can actually see that with Devin Haney right now. Devin Haney, he took one of the biggest risks in the world to fight George Kambosos, and you still have people saying that Devin Haney this, Devin Haney that, you know what I'm saying? He was talking, I'll take the same deal as Loma, while Loma was already ready to fight Kambosos, but when he dropped out, he wasn't like, nigga, like, go check your facts. Haney is probably the only current boxer right now who's taking a risk to be great, other than a lower name that people aren't going to talk about, like Lubin. Lubin did not have to fight Fundora. So, I dropped that video yesterday on Tony Harrison. You guys can check that out. Tony Harrison said, if I was Lubin, I would think about retiring. As much as I understood where Tony was coming from with that, I did not want that to be the case with Lubinson. He's still young. He's only 24 years old, 24, 25. No. I'm sorry. Take that back. He's 26 years old, 25, 26 years old. He's still young. He's not even in his prime yet. So I did not want to see that. So I'm very happy that he ended up releasing a statement. I have not read it yet. Obviously, if you guys have been watching me talk as of now, you might have been able to already read what's going on over here, and maybe it's a little bit too small for you to read. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do it for y'all. This is a reaction video. Let's get into it, baby. Holla. So Erickson Hammer said, bounce back before, I'm going to do it again. Ain't no quitting me. Lord knows he made me special, and Lord knows my heart's aggressive about being real with myself and paying my people back. Blessings. Hammer time. # long live Santana. Cunningham Kevin, I'm extremely proud of the heart and guts that Erickson Hammer displayed last night. Special thanks to all of our supporters. Salute to you, Lubin. Salute to you. We ain't got nothing respect for you, brother. Erickson, you are a goddamn beast. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything differently. Erickson, if they are trying to say something differently, they just hate.
As you have not let the loss against Jermell Charlo define your career, you have come back and won, knocking down top contender after top contender, 6 straight, and now you are on the precipice of getting back to a world title opportunity. This is for the interim WBC Super Welterweight belt. What have you learned about yourself over the last several years in winning 6 straight?
I've always knew I'll be right back to, title contention. I just dared to be great early. I tried to, take unthrone Charlo at an early age.
Well, what I said about the business move, you can take a big risk, and you have to you either reap the rewards or you reap, the not rewards of it. And that's just part of the game. That's part of life, guys. It's part of life. It's not just boxing. It's part of life. So all you niggas who'll be like, man, he should have never did that. It's because y'all never took a risk in life. Y'all okay with just playing it safe. Not everybody's okay with that. Some niggas want to take a risk, and even if they take a L, they appreciate that L more than never taking a risk.
I was like 22 years old. I just had turned 22 years old.
Thanks.
And, I was just daring to be great. But I always knew I'd be right back in this position. I always knew I'd be one of the top dogs. I was in that fight. I was in that fight with Charlo with just 3 years of experience as a pro. And now, that it's been almost 5 years since that fight. So my experience only just gets better and better. And I only get better every time I step in that ring. I want to show that I'm the best at 154 pounds. And get into that fraternity of the pay-per-views and the highest paydays. So that's why I'm doing
it. These how they said he's won 6 fights in a row. I know he's been thinking about how people make fun of his chin and all that. He's a tough fighter. And he worked on that. I just know I hit hard too. So I didn't think this fight was gonna go the distance, and we got the job done. I wish him the best. I wish him a quick recovery. He got up before. He can do it again.
I won't lie to y'all. Like watching the pre-fight press conference, what Lubin was saying, it's a little life, man. Life is tough, man. And that's why I appreciate boxers so much, man. I appreciate combat sports entertainment period. But boxing essentially because it limits you to what you can do. You know what I'm saying? It all just kind of a lot of times it doesn't matter how hard you work in the gym. Sometimes it just does come back down to, hey, God ain't blessed you the same way this person is blessed. You know what I'm saying? And that's life. Like if you look at regular life, like you can be the hardest worker in the world and you can make strides and think you really like getting ahead of people, and you can come across someone who's been given a golden spoon and they're a million times ahead of you and they didn't even have to do none of the little bit of shit that you had to do just to get to where you're at, and they're already levels ahead of you. Like that's part of the game, man. Like that's what life is. It's not fair, man. It's all about, some people are given a blessing and some people aren't given a blessing. Some people are put in a position to succeed. Some people aren't. But, a lot of times, like what I be trying to be, thinking on, and what I be trying to reflect on and really put my energy into is, regardless what your journey is, regardless of what, what you may have or may not have, or what advantages you had or what advantages you didn't have, what did you do with it? You know what I'm saying? Don't compare and contrast. You can't compare and contrast if you don't know the totality of the other person. You can't say, hey, you're where you are and I'm where I am, but you don't know what they went through or what they didn't go through or what help they had that you didn't have to get where they are. You can't do that. What you got to do is be proud that if you went through something and got to a place you never expected to be at, that's your blessing. That's your heaven. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare your heaven to other people's heaven because, shit don't match up. Feel what I'm saying? If I make a pizza and you make a pizza, we both make it differently. The outcome and how it tastes, really, I can't compare it because I made it differently than you. Now, if we're in a competition, of course we can. But if we're not in competition, this comes down to, hey, what type of shit you like to taste and what type of shit I like to taste. Does that make sense, or am I just talking? Let me know, y'all. I'm not going to be too long with it. I already was. I'm going to get up out of here. I salute you, Erickson Lubin. I love you, bro. Nothing but blessings, positivity away. Hopefully your family's safe. Hopefully you safe. And hopefully BlakGooseTV family, y'all safe, y'all family safe, and y'all feel good. I hope everything's going good for y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the videos. Drop in the comments how you feel about it. Like all that good stuff. As always, I'm going to keep coming at y'all with the comment. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like it. I don't give a fuck if y'all like it. I don't give a fuck if you're in the middle. At the end of the day, let me know. Drop it in the comment below. I'm out of here. Love. Appreciate y'all. Blessings. Salute.